go ahead. You go ahead and talk. Hey, are you putting some? Yes, go ahead.
Hi, Mooji.
Hi, yeah.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Very good.
So, since I remember, there was a deep longing in my heart to merge with something, to divinity. And since then, it was a pretty bumpy ride. As you say, the self was burping so many things. And there are lots of storms. And since few years back, all the storms just subside. And then the knowledge came about what you are speaking all the time. And the sentence that was resonating with me the most was stay in the self as the self. So I was feeling before myself, the self, but that struck me a lot.
It what?
That struck me a lot, this sentence. Yeah,
it struck you.
Yeah, it was very deep, very powerful sentence for me. So I shifted my attention from anywhere else back to the self, and many things changed since then. It's like I'm not waiting for my practice to give me that feeling. That feeling is much more part of my life, like most of the time actually. And it's easy to live, and so much love is coming from my heart towards everybody. And the thoughts which are coming, I feel like you can cut them in the root with the awareness, and the thoughts are not so important anymore. I don't feel some big storms. It was like they were all before, and now the state is like that. So I'm asking you for the guidance to be established in that space. And
yes. Well, already most of the work is done. Most of the work is done. If you can see, you say some statement has come, and the statement is stay in and as the self. But first, before that can really enter deeply into your being, you must have a sense of what the self is. Because when we say the self, we're not speaking about the ego, of course. You see? In fact, nobody would want to stay centered in the ego. What a horrible idea. So it has to be something other than ego. And what it's referring to is the pure being. In fact, the first questioner, we were talking just now, and I'm asking you, what is it in whose presence all these are seen? It is the same thing. You may call that the self, like that. But don't develop any conception about the self. You see? So, what a beautiful instruction. If it is followed, it is enough, in fact. Whatever is arising, yes, retreat in the self. Stay only as the self. What is the self? What is the self's attitude? Well, it has no particular attitude. It's a kind of neutrality, you can say. It's a kind of can you hear my voice? Can you hear what I'm speaking? Okay. It is a kind of neutrality, like a state of neutrality. But it's not just neutrality. I want you to know that no words can convey what it is. thankfully. Because if a word could convey, we would put so much emphasis and importance on the word. So the word is just a pointing finger. So don't get lost with the rings on the finger. It's only pointing to something that cannot be touched by any finger. And it cannot be in any direction you look. Because it is behind the very looking itself. It says, stay in and as the self. Why not just in? Why not just stay in the self? Because there's a duality in that. It's like we're sitting in this room. There's a room and there's we, and it's different. It's stay in and as the self itself. Keep your attention there. The mind will start to throw some stones and to make some noise. And something all too well goes to manage and give attention to the mind. But never mind about the mind. Keep your attention on the self. It may seem an oversimplistic advice, but it works every time. Could it be so simple? All these great monuments. We have constructed super skyscrapers of concepts about what is and what we are. All of them will fall because they arise out of our projections only. The mind will tell you, but you cannot stay like this, there's nothing here. How are you going to live your life being nobody? So don't give any name to this. Don't say you are nobody, or you're somebody, or you're the self, or you're the Holy One, the chosen one, or the unchosen one. Don't touch any conception about yourself. Just keep confirming. But all that appears are appearances only, they come and go. That's not to say you cannot use your mind for practical things, for practical functioning, of course. Continue. What service? But don't be so enamored with the psychological functions of the mind. Don't go to the mind for a sense of who you are. Because it will never turn you down. It will always suggest another idea about you, another job, another journey. Some people are tired of journeys. Okay. So, what advice does one need now? If you say that all the things, they're coming and they're going by themselves, actually, you concern yourself only with confirming that all this, they are only sensations in consciousness. You don't have to speak about it. If you speak about it, it will become a mess. You'll find people start to give you opinions. You need no opinions. Just quietly confirm. And within your own confirming, a conviction will grow. And then you will go also naturally beyond conviction, because the truth is even beyond conviction. Like this. Don't be in a hurry. Don't try too hard. Otherwise you overshoot the mark. the minute you leave things alone and pay attention to your beingness, somehow you'll find that what is given to you, you will somehow handle quite well. You need no surpluses, no excess. The beingness is sufficiently, or it's even abundant in its expression. People will ask you questions. Answers may come, but they will not feel like they're yours. But they will feel to be true. Very good. Thank you. Okay, who wants to ask? Please, quick, come.